Hello, freshies. We are back with today, Friday's EDay assignment. If you are doing it on paper, it looks like this. If you are doing it on ALEKS, you should be getting these same questions. Question 1 is real easy. It's just distributive property, but you've got to multiply that guy to everybody. So make sure negative times a negative, you're going to get a positive. Negative times a positive, you're going to get a negative, and a double negative again, you're going to get a positive. Question 2, pretty easy. I'm not going to do that one for you, but let's go ahead and walk through question 3. Question 3 says simplify the following expression. So you want to look at taking all of your like terms and combining them. So we have 5x squared and negative 11x squared. Those guys are the same. You've got negative 6x and negative 3x. They are the same. And then you've got this 9. He is by his lonesome. So that one is different. And that one should go at the end because it doesn't have a variable. So you always try to lead with your highest variable, which is x squared. That's its degree. It's got a degree of 2. That'll be important later in this assignment. So 5 minus 11, you're going to get a negative 6x squared. That's it. I'm done with those two. Don't need them. You owe me $6 and then you borrow 3 more. Now you owe me 9 x's. I'm done with those. And then my lonely little 9 is going to come and he's just going to go on the end. That is it for that problem. Please do not do any more because the directions say to simplify. It does not say to solve. This is your final answer, okay? On number 4, you've got a couple of things going on. First of all, there's your wall. So you need to distribute, and then you need to take this number and combine them, but not until you distribute. On this one, you're gonna distribute the negative 7. Watch your signs. So for example, this is a negative times a negative. That's a positive 21w minus 35 minus 2w. Hey, look, this guy and that guy are like terms. They're gonna need to get combined before you finish. This is not a done problem. Give the degree. Remember, you look at your letters and you add them all up for each term. Now that's important because y'all have forgotten. There's a term there, there's a term there, and there's a term there. So this guy has a degree of 0. This guy has a degree of 1. 9 plus 5 plus 4, or 9 plus 9. That guy has a degree of 18. 4 plus 2, that guy has a degree of 6. So the degree of the whole equation is whichever one of these is the biggest. That guy is your winner, okay? Let's go ahead and look at the next page, which is a good bit more complicated. Okay, let's go all the way up to the top. Y'all make way too many mistakes on this. So what you want to do is write them on top of each other. Now, I apologize because I am recording via a cup and my phone, which is not the most user-friendly, but I'm going to write it over here vertically and then I'll zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. You're going to take the first equation, which is negative 4u squared plus 4u minus 6. Then we're going to go through and change all of our signs because instead of subtracting, we are going to add the opposite. So we're going to say plus 3u squared plus 2u minus 6 because I distributed that negative. The next one is already a plus, which is super handy for us. Negative 2u squared plus 5u plus 9. Now we can look at that equation, which I am going to zoom back in for you here. Wrong way. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take that equation and we are going to add straight down each of these columns. When you add u squared plus u squared plus u squared, you do not get u to the 6th. You get u squared. When you add u plus u plus u, you get a u. Now be careful. You owe me $4. You pay back 3. You borrow 2 more. These guys are all positive. These two, you owe me 6. You borrow 6 more, and then you pay back 9. Watch your signs. Use a calculator. There is no shame, my dear children, in using a calculator. All right, let's look at question 8 because that is a whole bunch of letters. And let me zoom out a little bit so we can see it all here. There we go. Okay, so we have all kinds of different variables and we need to make sure we match the ones that match. So we've got 2 x's, 3 y's. I'm gonna make that guy purple. That does not have it. 2 x's, 3 y's. That one goes with it. Then if I look over here, I've got 3 x's, 2 y's. That goes with this one. And then your y squareds are your last ones, which we're gonna do in blue because my green has kind of gone kaput. The next thing you need to worry about is distributing that negative, which means you're gonna change all the signs. This guy becomes a plus, this guy becomes a plus, that guy becomes a minus. So now let's combine our like terms. I've got 3x cubed y squared plus, I'm rearranging, 7x squared y cubed minus y squared. Now I'm going to put this guy, because now they're in the same order, right below it. So 5x cubed y squared plus 6x squared y cubed minus 2y squared. Add them up. 3 plus 5 is 8. X cubed y squared plus 13 x squared y cubed minus, remember there's an imaginary 1 there. You owe me 1, you borrow 2 more, minus 3y squared. This is not a double negative. That only works in multiplication and division, okay? On number 9, see those directions? Simplify. You will not get w equals 15. You're going to get an equation. First step, you're going to take this negative 5 and you're going to multiply him to both of those guys. Then you will have 2 like terms. You'll have 2 w's and you'll have 2 z's, and they then need to be combined. Number 10, I'm going to set up number 10 vertically. W squared minus 5w plus 3 plus negative 7w squared, that guy has a 1, plus 6w plus 2. And again, we can now do our math straight down. We are not going to change our variables. They're going to stay the same. That is how you solve that one. Let's move on to the last page of this one. All right, number 11 is pretty straightforward. Number 12, I see mistakes. So let's talk about them. First step, distribute. And we're going to distribute here as well. So if I move my big giant cup out of the way, you're going to get 7u minus 7 equals 5u plus 9, because we haven't done anything with either of those numbers. And then a negative times a negative, you're going to get plus 18u plus 2. On the front, there's nothing to do yet. On the back, I have those guys that belong to the same family, and I have these guys that belong to the same family. So I have to clean up before I can do anything else. So we're going to leave the front. 7u minus 7 equals 23u, because 18 plus 5, plus 11. Now we can start moving things. And again, we always try to move small to big. So minus 7u, minus 7u. Left with negative 7. 23, take away 7. 16u plus 11, minus 11, minus 11. And you're going to get negative 18 equals 16u. Divide by 16. Divide by 16. So u equals, let me move my cup, sorry, negative 18 over 16. You're panicking. It's a top-heavy fraction. That's okay. But what is not okay is that this is not simplest form. Those are both even numbers, so I can take a 2 out of both. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And that is your final answer. All right, let's try one more. And then I'll set up vertically number 14 and 15 for you. But let's look at number 13. Number 13 says, write without parentheses. And what that means is that you're going to take this guy and you're going to multiply him to the 3 terms that are inside. So negative 4 times positive 8, that's going to give you a negative 32. I have 3 x's out here and 2 x's inside. 3 and 2 makes that x to the 5th. Negative times a negative is going to give you a positive. 3 x's, 1 x, that's x to the 4th. And then this guy, we just have to worry about our numbers. So negative 4 times positive 6, that becomes a negative 24x cubed, okay? 14 and 15, I'm gonna set them up vertically for you to solve. I will write those in and then give you a second to copy them down. You're gonna get negative 6w squared plus 1w minus 7. And we're going to add that to 5w squared plus 3w plus 4. So there's what the equation should look like. And again, you just add vertically and your variables do not change. 15 is going to be the exact same kind of problem. 4y squared minus 5y minus 3, sorry about the dogs, plus 1y squared minus 6y plus 2. Add straight down, variables do not change. And then of course you have to fill in your numbers and your pluses and minuses. Any questions? You guys know where to find me.